this far away. Hello, musicians. When I started playing gospel music, I made a huge mistake that I don't want you all to make. Back then, I believed that focusing solely on the contemporary gospel style of the day was the way to go. And get this, I intentionally avoided learning and digging into the historical musical answers for the current questions I had. For example, let's say I was on the chord F, and I was trying to get to B flat. All I was concerned with is what are the guys playing today? And so the guys playing today were doing stuff like. So that's all I learned. And that's a great answer. That's a great way to get to 4. But there were so many other answers that I ignored, like the traditional ones, like. However, a turning point came when I began studying the greats like Corey Henry, Jason White, Mike Burrell, Kevin Bond, amongst others. And what struck me was their ability to infuse the cutting edge gospel concepts while seamlessly incorporating the timeless gospel elements. And they weren't just making it up or inventing the ideas on the spot, even though that's the way it seemed, and that's what I thought was happening. They were skillfully drawing upon the foundational gospel concepts from the past. And here's the fascinating thing. Once you grasp how these foundational gospel ideas continue to shape modern gospel music, you can't ignore it. It's like a bell. You can't unhear it once you hear it. It becomes an inherent part of the way you perceive and appreciate gospel music. So what I want to do is I want to share one of the foundational gospel patterns that I actually teach in one of my courses, the Gospel Piano Theory and Application course that you can find on our website. So let's get started. All right, so one of the foundational gospel concepts is this idea of 4-to-1, a plagal cadence of sorts. So we're going to be in the key of F. All right, so in the key of F, the 1 chord is F, and the 4 chord is B flat. And so what happens is this kind of 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. And there are a lot of ways to play this, but let me show you one of the more popular ones. So in our left hand, we're going to play the root 5th. And in our right hand, we're going to play the 3rd and root of F, like this. And then for the 4 chord, they wouldn't actually move to like in root position. They would stick on the F on the bottom, play D in the left hand, and then B flat and F. Like this. So 1, 4, 1. And you've heard this in so much music. And so what was it used for? Well, it encompasses so much, this pattern, 1, I think 4, 1. It was used for rhythmic. You could use this. You wouldn't even need a drummer. Harmony, to fill in the spaces. A lot of times we're always asking, what do we play in the spaces? Well, this solved that for you. And it just felt good. It sounded good. So like you could take a song like this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. And then the song goes to 4. But you could do the same thing. This is what they would do. They just take the same idea and just move it. So this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Now, you can play it like that, but there's a couple little extra sauce things you can add to it. First off is the right hand grace note. So instead of just playing this 3rd right here on the F, add the grace into it. Adding that G sharp as a grace note gives it a little extra flavor. Now, one thing you also see me do is I'll add this F in the middle right here. So I have an F on the bottom, C, I have A and F, but I'll add this F in the middle and use that as an anchor point for my right hand. Right? And then let me show you one more little extra sauce thing you can add. Is the left hand, I don't just play, I'm doubling up a couple of notes. So like I'm doubling up that 5, the C, and sometimes I'll double up this D too. So in context, you know, this yeah, that just feels good. That just feels great. Before we move on to the next part of this video, I just want to share that if you need help, if you're struggling, you're not sure how to improve, you just want some help, some guidance, set up a free 15-minute video call with me. I have a link in the description box where we'll sit down and talk, and I can see how I can help you accomplish your goals. All right, let's get back to the video. There are several different ways to play this rhythmically, and they are all dependent on two things: where you place the one chord and how you play the grace note. What do I mean? So we have the 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, right? And we're adding our grace note. All right, so I can play this one chord on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But a lot of times, one way they play it is 1. They play it on the and 1 and 2 and. So this little light of mine, I'm gonna shine. Or you can keep the 1 on the downbeat. This little light of mine, you see the difference? This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And then how do you play the grace note? If you notice when I'm playing this grace note, sometimes I call it the country version, kind of twangy version, but so if I play the grace note as like a true grace note, boom, ba, dee, do, da. All right, so that's one way to play it. Or I can do it, and the way I personally like playing it most of the times is it's kind of it's almost like I'm trying to hit the A, but I just slide and hit the G sharp on the way to the A. So that kind of way. But those two kind of change the rhythm. And you can change the rhythm midstream. I can do it all the downbeat, and then go to the and right there, so I can mix the two together. Now there's another thing that affects the rhythm of how you play this progression is what I call the rhythmic mode of the song. So for example, this line, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So that kind of has a certain rhythmic mode. So you do it like that, or can't nobody, right? So you can play it like that. But a song like they use the same progression, but it's different rhythmic mode. Let's see. We've come this far, baby. So you can see, no matter if you're playing This Little Light of Mine or We've Come This Far by Faith, it's the same principles. Rhythm is slightly different. If you want to learn more traditional gospel progressions like the ones you heard in this video, click here. And if you want to master traditional gospel progressions, click here. All right, be blessed and happy practicing.